Today on How It's Made.
Candles like these look pretty simple. You light the wick and the candle burns. But have you ever stopped to wonder why the wax doesn't drip and form a puddle on your table? Well, it's all down to the kind of wax used to make the candles. The main ingredient is paraffin, a natural material that's filtered out of crude oil when it's refined to make fuel for your car. Like petrol, paraffin is a fuel that makes the candle burn. It's also water resistant, hardens at room temperature and has a high melting point of 65 degrees. This is why most of the candle holds its shape rather than melting. Beeswax is the other main ingredient. It looks just like paraffin and it has an even higher melting point than paraffin. As the two waxes are melted together, a powdery ingredient called stearin is added to the mix. This is made from both animal and vegetable fats, and it helps harden the candles. The key ingredient is carnauba wax, an exceptionally hard wax that's used to wax floors and cars. It takes heating and stirring at 104 degrees for 2 hours to melt all the ingredients together into the wax for the candles. While the wax ingredients melt, the powdered dye is mixed to colour the candles. The colours come from a secret blend of synthetic materials. For this batch, they're using mostly red with a pinch of black to darken it into more of a cinnamon colour. When the powders are mixed, they're heated until they melt, just like the wax. Then, the melted wax is transferred to a dipping tank to be mixed with the dye. A test wick is dipped in to check the colour. If it matches a finished candle of the same colour, the wax is ready to be made into candles. While the wax is kept hot, a worker threads long strands of a cotton linen blend onto a dipping rack to make the wicks. Each rack holds 84 candles, and each candle is 38 centimetres tall, with a few extra centimetres of wick at either end. So it takes nearly 54 metres of wick, or more than the length of an Olympic-sized pool, to fill the frame. The wick provides a spine for each candle, as well as a fuel source for the flame. But the wick also absorbs wax from the candle as it melts. This is so the wax can travel up the wick, like smoke in a chimney, and vaporise instead of dripping on your table. Once the rack is ready, the workers give it a quick dunk in the dipping tank to coat each wick with a thick layer of wax. The rack is pulled out and left to dry for about 10 minutes. This process of dipping and drying is repeated over and over to build up the candles. Each time the rack lifts up, gravity pulls the wax down the wick as it dries, so the candles end up with a natural taper that's thicker at the bottom and narrower at the top. The dunking continues until about 25 layers of wax are built onto the wicks. After the last dunk, a worker measures 38 centimetres down from the tip of the candle and marks the bottom of the base in the wax. Then the candles are dipped just up to the mark so the hot wax in the tank can melt away the wax below the mark. The candles come out of the tank with straight, smooth bottoms. Once the candles cool, the bottom of the wick is snipped off. The candles are then removed from the rack 2 at a time and packaged together. Once lit, these candles can burn for up to 12 hours without leaving a drippy, waxy mess.